Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Herb Kittelman, and I'm here on behalf of the European Thermoforming Division. And I'm proud to introduce you to my today's interview partner, Stacy Ware from SILGAN. Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning.
Thank you for getting up so early. It's very early in the States. It's pretty much midday here in Germany. We do this interview in preparation for the conference in Grand Rapids. Maybe Stacy, you could introduce yourself and maybe a little bit about your company, SILGAN, and what do you do there, and then we take it from there.
So I'm Stacy Ware. I work for SILGAN Plastic Foods we have two locations, one in Missouri and one in Arkansas. I'm a projects engineer. I handle purchasing and installing equipment. I also handle new startups for new packages. So we do all food packaging.
Rotary and traditional thermoforming.
Yes.
Thank you. So the slogan, the motto of the conference is smart manufacturing. And of course, we try to gather some inside view on how do certain companies do the smart manufacturing better than others. Can you give us some examples in which spots and where did SILGAN focus on the smart manufacturing, and what do you think are the most important points to consider?
For us, especially with the pandemic, we had just opened a couple of years ago, the secondary location in Arkansas. So we spent a lot of time at the beginning of the pandemic trying to get open communication between the two facilities as far as being able to track and monitor their equipment. All of our processing support is based out of our Missouri plant, and we weren't being allowed to travel between facilities. So we had to be able to remote in to see exactly what was going on with their equipment to try to help them through processing problems. We also had equipment on order at the start of the pandemic, which meant that we had to try to do all of our trials and acceptance with our suppliers without being able to actually be present at their facilities.
When you had to establish the communication there between the two plants, obviously Teams and Skype and all that stuff is the traditional stuff. I tried to convince several people of using the magic glasses, the smart glasses. Did you actually use something like that in your company?
Most of ours we just did with FaceTime calling. So the company has all issued iPhones, so it was a lot of FaceTime calling, although I'm still trying to get them to purchase a pair of smart glasses.
You did mention the acceptance test, and I know that we did one for you here in the Marbach plant. What was your experience there? Where do you see, what worked well and what did not work so well, and where is it really needed to be there in presence?
So yes, we did the run with you guys, which I think went incredibly well. It's probably the hardest package we've ever given you guys to make, and they did it well. So. And in that, I think everything went very smoothly. I think being the end user, it's better to be there because I'm sure as you guys did the first initial runs on that, there's probably learning things that being in person would have been better to be there to actually see. We also did some equipment acceptance with Mueller, who's an automation group out of Switzerland, and Polytype, who is a print supplier, also out of Switzerland. The Mueller FAT went okay. And Polytype, we did two in the past year with them. One of them went very smoothly. The other one, they had a little bit of issue getting the printer to part handle. And I think in that situation, it would have been really, really good for us, to our advantage, if we would have had somebody there to see what they did to fix it. Instead, we tried running and the printer wouldn't stay running, and we called off the meeting for the day and started back up tomorrow. And in the meantime, the next day, and in the meantime, their mechanical guys worked on it to get the part handling improved. But it would have been good had one of our engineers been there, then we could have worked through that with them to see what they did. So when we have the same problems in our plant, we have to do. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the need for the magic glasses to see
yes.
the magic. Okay, if we go away from the FAT and the SAT, in general, smart manufacturing, I know you're deeply involved in training people. Where do you see the challenges, the tasks for the next 5 years? What do we need to do to be smarter than average, to do our job better than our competitors? If you can say
I'm not sure what the market is like in Europe, but in the U.S. we're having a severe staffing shortage. So I think one of the biggest things that most manufacturing in the U.S. is looking at right now is more automation. And it's something that I was tasked with earlier this year. We have a lot of hands-on physical labor in our plant, and we are working to put in more packing automation, so robots, case packing, that kind of thing, to kind of help with the labor shortage. And it makes people's jobs easier. If they can just come and monitor a couple of machines running rather than doing the physical labor, they're more likely to stay and work longer, I think. So.
Well, you only change from mechanical trouble to IT trouble. But different
Yes.
people obviously have to solve it. Good. Well, then we look forward to seeing you at the conference. We know you're going to be there in person and be on the panel. Thank you very much for your participation. Have a very good day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.